Why the hell so many people are trying to tell me to slow down? Seems like motherfuckers should be shutting the hell up and enjoying the show.
Winos, you guys asked me for my input and for me to get some exclusive information on this Tekashi 6ix9ine snitching case. So, Skylight, will you please tell the winos who you are?
I am Sky L. Daniels, Texas top publicist, international publicist. I have been a career publicist for the last 20 years in Texas. Born in Dallas, raised in Houston. I went international with my career. It took me 12 years to gain my degrees. I was able during my PR career to move around the world. Knowing and unknowing in the music industry.
Okay. Now let's start. How did you, as a Texas publicist, now, like I said, your public relations firm is pretty legit. I mean, you've worked with 50 Cent. We're going to talk about this in a minute. Jay Prince. Looks like, I think, Lil Bootsy and some of his people.
Kevin Gates. I worked all in Miami. I didn't only do entertainment, music entertainment. I did sports and politics. I did the biggest music conference in Texas for 10 years, darling.
All right, so I want everybody to know how you fit into this Tekashi's case, okay? How did you, okay, as one of Texas' top publicists, okay, you've worked with everybody except Tekashi. You didn't work with Tekashi. So this is not about working with Tekashi. Tell everyone how you are roped into this case.
Tasha, I have been suffering in silence alone for over a year. First, I've been suffering in silence. Everyone has benefited off of my story. I am the first person to call the police. I was that woman that's all over the videos, that's all over millions and millions of views, that's getting robbed, coming from 50 Cent's studio in the lobby. I am the woman. You haven't heard from me?
No.
I haven't said anything. Some of my closest friends that doesn't even know that this happened to me. Today, once those videos got out, the videos had been out prior to that, but me as a publicist, I was able to keep it under wraps and keep the front going, keep it together in the public view and keep it out of certain individuals, control the dialogue to a certain extent until DJ Academic put it out, but I was still able to keep it away from some people. And but this fire has blazed so far out of control.
Now, let me interrupt you here for a second. Now, let me explain so everyone will know, okay? So, Tekashi was taken down along with TreyWay, some Blood Gang members, okay, for racketeering, robbery, amongst other things. Now, the robbery that we're talking about now, you were a victim.
I was somewhat the target. I didn't know any of these people prior to this event. None of them, not one. Totally caught off guard. Like, I didn't know anyone. I had no affiliation, had never worked with, didn't know any of these people. And I still don't.
Tell us about the day that you were robbed by Tekashi and Shotty and other members of TreyWay. Can you start from the beginning?
I have to start from my day. I had been in New York for about a week. I was working with several clients. I have different varieties of clients. Whenever I've been a publicist for, almost 2 decades. So therefore, when I go into any city, I have lots of friends, colleagues, associates, clients. So I move around a lot. And at this particular time, I had an assistant. Everywhere I go, I always have an assistant, a driver, and a handler already prepared once I get into the market. And one of my main assistants, I had been working in New York for years. He lived in New York, and he had been there, doing everything with me, since I had been in town. And it was nothing new to me. Ordinary day. I had a big meeting with a couple of my Jewish clients that morning, a very important meeting. That was the most important meeting, but I had been there for a week working. We had shot a movie there for a client. We did a trailer, casting calls. We did a lot of radio interviews. I had one of my clients that I'm not going to mention his name. He was shadowing me. I had been working with him for a month. I was doing an artist development project for his label. And that morning I had got up. We had a big important meeting. About noon, I get a call from DJ Thorough from This Is 50. And, I work with the DJs. The DJs are some of my number one clients in the industry, are the DJs, out of the top most influential DJs in the country. 5 of them are my clients. I am the vice president of the biggest DJ coalition in the South, which is the Go DJs. And I work with all the DJs, the core DJs, all the main DJs around the country. I work with the DJs. So it's nothing out of the ordinary to get a call from a DJ. And so DJ Thorough hits up and he's like, Sky, hey, come through. This is 50. I heard you in the city. You know, come through and holler at your boy. You know, come holler at your bro, sis. Come on, sis. And I'm like, I really don't feel like it. You know, I'm tired. This is my last day here. I don't want to miss my plane. I didn't have it penciled in on my itinerary. You know, like, no, I'm really not feeling it. So he begged me. He begged me. And me being the nice person this guy is, I'm like, all right, okay, I'm going to come through. It gives the opportunity to my new client. I can see Thorough anytime. I can give shits less. Okay? Like, I'm like, okay, let me go on and me being the workhorse that I am, let me go on instead of taking this 5-hour break that I need because I've been going hard for a week. Let me go on and get this last, you know, interview for the client and make these guys happy and make these guys happy. Bam. So, I told him, I said, look, you have 1 hour. I'm come through. Everything has to be done in an hour. I need everything set up once I get there. Like, I don't have any free time to lag around. You want me to come through, make sure everything's set up. You got exactly 1 hour. So when my driver came to the hotel to pick me up, I called the driver early and said, hey, come pick me up, you know, because we had a scheduled time already for me to make it to the airport. I said, come pick me up a little early. I'm going to stop over at Times Square, Manhattan, and run in, and, you know, for an hour. Knowing that parking out there $60, child. Okay, so
Okay.
like ain't nobody got time or money for that, but you know, me being a nice person that I am, so we make it to the we make it, and an artist was out there that my client knew. He was out there waiting. He called him and told him we was out there, so you know, it's nothing, you know, irregular for, you know, someone to meet up with us. So one artist meets up and my handler's there. My assistant's there. Now let me let you know, it's sure the target sure wasn't my assistant, and it sure wasn't the artist. Okay, we go upstairs. So when we walk in the lobby, we arrive at This Is 50. We walk in the lobby. I called ahead. I was like, hey, I'm downstairs. I was calling. I'm en route because I knew I was on a time frame. I'm en route. I'm coming. So when I get in there, I'm rushing. I'm rushing because I do not want to miss my plane. I'm ready to go home and lay in my bed. Okay, I'm tired of working. You know, I want to go home. So I'm calling, like, I'm outside. We're rushing. We're rushing. We get in. We check in. We walk through the doors. We check in with security. They send someone down. They send this guy down to pick us up at the elevator. We're talking to him, going up in the elevator. We go in. You know, I see Thorough, hug Thorough. We sit down, get mic'd up. I'm like, we do the interview. We do a interview. Like, I don't even remember what the questions were. Real quick, 25-minute interview. They're asking all kind of questions. In that interview, Tekashi's name did come up, and they asked me. They said, Sky, what do you think about this new artist named Tekashi? I said, I really don't know him, but I've heard, you know, some of the things that he's doing. But I pertain the question. I said, and the only thing I remember answering is I told them, I said, it goes to all, you know, the new coming generation. With me being a lecturer and teaching and lecturing all over the state of Texas, you know, in the university with my courses, I let them know, I said, I just think he's a younger generation and they need to learn respect, you know, period. I mean, it's not only him, it's a lot of them, but I would just advise him as a young man, don't be so disrespectful, you know, when you have to pay homage when you come into any field. And I left it at that. I didn't think anything else about it, Tasha. You know, we went in to ask the music industry questions. He asked about the artists and their projects, and I really didn't have too much for take in on the conversation.
So there was no beef. There was no beef between you and Tekashi and TreyWay and the Blood Gang.
I don't have no beef with nobody. I don't have no beef with anybody. I didn't know them. I don't got no beef with Rap A Lot. I don't have no beef with DJ Thorough.
Cause that's what's being said in court. Cause Tekashi is snitching, of course. Everybody, I mean, he's telling every damn thing. Okay, he needs to take my job.
Yeah, he been snitching since. I mean, the feds done reached out to me. The feds been called. It's a lot being said, Tasha. It's a lot being said. But guess what? Sis, you are getting the truth right here. I did not know those people. I don't have no beef with nobody. I did not know. I did not know him.
Okay.
God, honest truth. I didn't know him. I didn't even know I didn't even know this shoddy person existed. I didn't know about no 6ix9ine gang. I'm not no gang member. They have labeled me as a gang member. They have said that I'm a Rap A Lot associate. They have said that was Jay Prince. I have heard that it was some dude named Trippy Red. I'm not no Trippy Red. I'm not no Rap-A-Lot associate, affiliate, a gang member. I'm not no 6ix9ine. I'm not no Cardi B. I am Sky.
Now, I know this is very emotional for you because, I mean, it was pretty tragic what happened to you. And then, you had some other events following the robbery that day. Okay, so I kind of want people to follow the story. Now, you're doing the interview. You were asked about Tekashi.
So we do the interview. We take, photo opportunities, get in front of This Is 50. At this point, it's me, my assistant, and my artist. My artist, he had only been working with him for a month. He didn't have 5 followers on Facebook and 2 followers on Instagram. He didn't even have a portfolio yet. He was just in his shadowing, so no one knew who he was. And my assistant, no offense to the LBGT, but my assistant is as gay as the most timid leaf on the tree. He is very gay. He sure is not a gang member, okay?
So nobody in your crew was gang members?
Oh, none of us. We totally caught off guard, child. We totally caught off guard. We know no one.
Now, in court, because I know a lot of people have been following what Tekashi's been saying in court, apparently this robbery that took place at the This Is 50 studio, they claim that they robbed Rap-A-Lot. Jay Prince and Jay Prince's sons.
Lie.
They did not rob them. And so Jay Prince was telling the truth.
They said that so let's go back to the robbery.
The olive leaf extract can help detox your body in just 7 days. It's like magic. The olive leaf extract can help lower your blood pressure, clear eczema, and fight against autoimmune diseases and so much more. Now, I want you to do something good for your health and just visit their website at www.myoliveleaf.biz. The link is located below in the description box as well as in the comments. The Pangea wash is made from honeysuckle and rose essential oils, is 100% natural, and doesn't dry you out down there. Don't douche, just in case your mama ain't never tell you that, because that's nasty, okay?
Oh, that's nasty.
Embrace Pangea wash instead and leave you and your yoni feeling clean, fresh, and with a balanced pH. Use the promotional code TASHAK for 10% off your first order at checkout.
They waited all of it to come out. So I tell Thorough bye. I wish everybody in This Is 50, it was probably about 25 people like in different computers and cubicles, in there, we tell everybody bye, leave, promo down and on the elevator routine as we go. Now, one of the guys who's work at This Is 50, he's walking us down on the elevator so we can check out with security. Because we had checked in with security. We had to check in with security. So get out the elevator, still nothing. I'm not thinking anything. Just like I'm walking. Go over there and check out with security. And as I'm walking, after we check out with security, as I'm walking towards the double glass doors that we came in through, I noticed a black on black SUV drive up in front of the doors, kind of reckless. Okay. So I'm not a girl or a woman that was born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I come from the struggle. I'm just blessed. I'm just a little black girl from the hood that grew up and made it, okay? And I'm still trying to make it. But I understand when I see something that don't look right. So it didn't look right to me. And I was in a black on black, but that wasn't mine. So it drive up kind of reckless, like it come up so fast, it like hit the curb. And I noticed it, okay? Because I move around a lot, so I notice things. I have to notice things. I have peripheral vision. So I noticed it. And it kind of startled me a little bit, but I still not thinking anything. I'm like, come on, y'all, we got to go. So, because we have to make the plane and I have things I have to do. So I'm, rushing my little crew, come on along. So as we're walking towards the double doors, we're still inside the lobby. I noticed a whole bunch of dudes jumping out of this Suburban with gats, girl. They got guns. They got 9mm. They got Uzis. They got pumps. They got, girl, look like machetes. Girl, it was 5 of them. I come to find out, but at the time it felt like 50. So I'm looking, I see when the Suburban comes up, it came up right in front of the doors, like out of nowhere.
What color was the Suburban?
They were in a black on black SUV Suburban. Okay. So I seen it when it pulled up and it startled me, but I still not thinking nothing. Okay. Because I'm totally caught off guard. So I'm rushing my guys. Come on, y'all. We got to go. We got to go. So as we're walking towards the door, I noticed all the doors swung open at the same time. Okay. And when they swung open, okay, all of us are looking towards the windows right now, looking towards the double doors, because that's the way we're noticing them. We see them. And I say, oh, they got guns, you know. So just to alert my people, but me still off guard, Tasha. I'm thinking, oh, they're shooting a movie in Times Square. Or maybe I'm thinking, oh, they're gonna go rob a bank next door. Drama. I'm gonna pull my camera phone out and get to filming some shit, right?
Okay.
Not knowing that they finna run in there on me. Girl, when I tell you within like 2 seconds, they turned their direction from this way to that way, and it looked like a herd of elephants was running my way. Girl, I couldn't say nothing. I was like, shut up. So I was like, and I'm gonna tell you, this what one of the parts where it gets sticky. See, Tasha, we're here for questions. I got questions, sis. And I need some answers. I need you to help me get some answers. On top, I need my bag, but I need some answers. So you figure it out. When they ran through the door, Tasha, at this point in time in my life, I have no alliance to nobody but my children, to God first and foremost. My children, my grandchildren, and my support system. When they ran through that door, here's the honest God truth. You're hearing it from the horse's mouth. When they ran through the door, they screamed, bitch, get on the ground. Fuck, rap a lot. This is what they were screaming. Where is Junior? Fuck, rap a lot. This is what these maniacs were screaming. And I'm like a deer in the headlights, child. I'm like, they was like, and they just started taking our things. I dropped my shit as soon as I seen them. I didn't try to fight. I dropped my bag. I dropped it. Then I remember, then this is when Tekashi's filming from the other side. You see me run out, okay? But they were already in the midst of robbing us, pushing us into the Sally Port and shit. And then people trying to salute the security guard, the white woman security guard. I don't know if this bitch was in on it. Excuse my language. I'm so sorry. Scratch that. I don't know if the security guard was in on it, because she's pushing us more into the Sally Port for us to be surrounded by. Okay, so I see an older man come up behind the dude in the orange, who we now know is Shotty, open the door trying to go into the building, because it's more in the building than just this is 50. So the older man, when he opens the door, I see my chance to run out. And I run. I take out. I'm running, Tasha, with all my might. I'm crying. I'm running. I'm looking for the police. And it was so crazy. You're talking about Times Square, Manhattan, 5 o'clock in the evening, broad daylight. When have you ever been to New York and haven't seen a police every 5 people?
That's true.
Police are everywhere. Tasha, I run all the way to the corner, and cops are nowhere to be found. And I'm praying the whole time while I'm running. I'm like, Lord, please don't let me hear no gunshots. Lord, please don't let me hear no gunshots. I'm praying. And as I get to the corner, I hear the screeching sound. So I turn around, because there's no cops this way. So let me look back this way, and I hear the screeching, and I see the Suburban pulling off, and I see my little polo artist and my totally shaken gay assistant walking out like they had just been raped by 1,000 thieves. And I'm feeling broken because, number one, I ran and left them.
I mean, that's a natural reaction. I mean, somebody come in with guns and shit.
I tried to explain that to my assistant of 9 years. And Kevin, if you're watching this video, because that moment, it caused me a lot. And that was one of the things it caused me, was my assistant of 9 years. Because he was hard. He felt like his mama left him. That was my baby, my protege.
What was his name?
His name is Kevin Dozier.
All right, so you guys are obviously shaken. I mean, I couldn't imagine. I've never been robbed, so I don't know.
So just imagine, Tasha, being a million miles away from home. That baby that you got, that you love. I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother, Tasha. I just had my 4th grandchild on this past Friday. Just imagine, I have both my parents, thank God, are still living. I have people that really love me and support me. And just imagine dying alone in New York. I see what Tupac felt like, child. I was, and that was just that moment. I felt like I was finna die. I ain't never been robbed. And at gunpoint, they put the guns to me first.
How were you able to escape though if they had guns on you?
God, child.
I mean, they had to be some like dumbass criminals to let somebody escape with a gun to their head.
You gonna hear me say this a million times during this interview. This thing bigger than me. This thing bigger than me. I was just an innocent bystander, caught up in some bullshit. This shit is big. The job is now for you and the people to figure out what happened. I just want to be compensated on my coins. They took a lot from me that day. They took a lot from me.
The feds now, because we of course we spoke earlier. What did they take when they robbed you? What did they take?
They took my backpack, which has been on trial for the last 2 weeks.
Which had all the hard drives. That's what the feds found.
My hard drives in it. My hard drives, my book, the movie we had filmed, the trailer we had filmed while we was in New York, files on top of files, unreleased music from clients. It was 6 hard drives, girl. It was so much stuff on the hard drives, but the main important thing was my book and my memoirs for the last 15 years.
So that's what the hard drives were. So they didn't take any of this stuff from Rap-A-Lot. They didn't take any of this stuff from J. Prince's sons because he had a beef with them because they wouldn't, I guess, let him into some party or whatever.
It was nothing from Rap-A-Lot that they could take. Because Rap-A-Lot wasn't there. It was not that my assistant ain't with no Rap-A-Lot. My artist ain't with no Rap-A-Lot. The other artist there was not with no Rap-A-Lot. And everybody knows my entire career, Sky's never worked for anyone. I've worked with everyone, but I've worked for no one.
Now it's interesting because this whole robbery is filmed, okay? And so being that they did scream, you said they were screaming F Rap-A-Lot.
I mean, like I'm gonna tell you a million times, this thing it's bigger than me.
Okay, so what happened? Okay, you escaped with Uzis to your head and all other sorts of weapons. So what did you do after you ran out and then your assistant and your artist came out? What was taken from them? Can you say what was taken from them?
The first thing was safety. Get the hell out of there.
Okay.
So we immediately jumped in the car and I'm like sped off, like get me to the airport. And we're about an hour and a half away from the airport.
So you didn't call the police or nothing?
I immediately started calling down to Houston and trying to notify everyone in Houston. I just got robbed. Some guys just ran in here and they was like screaming F Rap-A-Lot. I immediately called down to Houston. You know, I was born in Dallas, raised in Houston. I immediately started calling to notify Junior, somebody's after you. Somebody's after Rap-A-Lot. I don't know who these people are, but I just got robbed in New York. I immediately start calling into Houston.
Okay, so nobody from that day after you got robbed called the police when you left?
I did.
Okay.
I called the police. Once I got back to Dallas, which was 2:00 in the morning, I had a red eye. About 2:00 in the morning, I immediately started calling back to New York because I needed to retrieve my things. The first person I started calling to was DJ Thorough. I'm like, DJ Thorough, like what happened? Where my stuff at? Why did y'all do this? Who was them folks? Well, like what went down? He's never called me back. He's never responded to any of my texts since that day.
What?
You heard it? You heard it? He set me up. He did. And that's me. He can say slander or whatever, but baby, the facts don't lie. Y'all put it together. I feel in my heart that DJ Thorough at This Is 50 is the person that lured me out for those wolves to attack me. Allegedly. It ain't no allegedly nothing.
No, allegedly.
It ain't no, those is facts, Tasha. What you think?
I mean, I wasn't there. I mean, I think it's strange that...
Thorough for 2 months straight. Dude, please call me back. I just need my stuff because, you know, my clients started, you know, like, Sky, I understand
do you think he was afraid of the Blood Gang too? I mean, they're a pretty notorious gang. I mean, do you think that he thought maybe if he snitched, of course they would handle him? I mean, because he actually lives in New York. You live in Texas.
But I mean, why would you do it who knew I was there? Why would you? He was the one that called and requested the interview. Somebody had to notify those guys to pull up like that. You don't just randomly select some chick that you're gonna rob coming down there. That was all orchestrated. If it wasn't him, it had to be the security in the lobby. She's liable.
So let me ask you this, okay? Because a lot of people are probably going to see this interview and say, because Jay Prince has been denying that he or his sons or anybody from Rap-A-Lot was robbed, okay?
Nobody from Rap-A-Lot or the Princes was there.
So are you doing this interview on their behalf? I'm just asking.
I'm going to tell you, Tasha, since this happened, ain't nobody funded me. I lost my whole career. I just went international as a publicist. I was having dinner this time last year in the Caribbeans with the governor, okay? And dealing with Israel, okay? Ready to go over there, okay? So I have no lines to anyone but my children and my grandchildren, period, and to God.
So you're not doing this to kind of clear Jay Prince, because it kind of makes Rap-A-Lot look
because I need my money. I don't care who paid me. They need to, I don't care how. I'm telling the truth. I want my life back. I have not been the same since this happened. Tasha, I am emotionally distraught. Tasha, this last 2 weeks for me, I didn't think this trial was going to affect me like this because, I have been through so much since this incident has happened. I thought this little trial wasn't going to be nothing. But girl, this trial has had me sick. Headache, fever, chills. I still, every night, every day, every time I see this, it plays back that moment of that. Everybody's taking it so lightly. And when I say everybody, that's including Rap-A-Lot to me. Nobody sat here and held me and comforted me, but my loved ones and my family. I have no alliance to the music industry. I have no alliance to any of those people. I was a publicist. I didn't go home with those people. I didn't wake up with them people. I had my own life. I just did my job that I worked my butt off to get. And I didn't deserve it. I don't know none of that. I don't know what these people do, how they make their money behind closed doors. I ain't into that ego shit. I make your ego. I don't build your ego or stroke your ego. I am Sky. I know the real deal, who you really are. I felt like it was some all ego shit. But now that I'm seeing this shit, how it's playing out in court, this ain't about no egos, girl. It's bigger than that. This thing, because I don't understand how they let him get on the witness stand and lie like he did, and they already had the police report, because again, I'm the one that called the police. I did. I flew back to New York. I called the police immediately. And they told me I had to come back to New York and file a police report. I was so scared.
I was going to say that, like, they would probably need you to stay.
I went into New York, baby. When I tell you I was so undercover, didn't nobody know I was going. I went back to New York. I stayed at the police department for a full day. A full day. Okay. And told that I got robbed. The police had never heard of him. They had never heard of him. I said, well, this little boy been doing this and doing that. Once they pulled his name up on the internet, and he's saying he the king of New York, and they like, we might need to investigate him. I went and told on him. I sure did, because he robbed a grandmother. He really robbed a grandmother and an innocent gay man. He didn't rob Rap-A-Lot. Rap-A-Lot had nothing. They was looking for Rap-A-Lot, though. That's what I'm going to say, because they ran in there screaming, fuck Rap-A-Lot. Shotty did, and the rest of them. They ran in there screaming, fuck Rap-A-Lot. They did. They was looking for Rap-A-Lot, and the only person they could associate with Rap-A-Lot was me. Everybody knows I'm from Texas. Houston is our queen jewel. I love Rap-A-Lot. Rap-A-Lot has never done anything to me. They've been big sponsors of my charity events for years. I don't have any problems with the Prince family, and I don't want any. I don't want no problems with nobody. I don't even want to be in the music industry anymore. It's too dangerous. It's too dangerous. I'm out. They took my whole career from me.
Now, after you filed the police report, okay, now, Tekashi, he got picked up like a few months after this robbery. So I guess it took him some time. And then, of course, when we heard the feds raided his house, they did find a backpack with hard drives, which turned out to be yours. Now, were you ever contacted by the feds or anything when they did finally get Tekashi and Shotty and his entire crew?
We'll fast forward. So that happened in April. So we'll fast forward to November. By this time, I'm such an emotional wreck, Tasha. I had already kind of like made it up, like that moment that happened, that I was out of the industry. My family, once I got home, they like, my kids like, Mama, you can't do that no more. Mama, that's too dangerous. My spirit was at unease. It was too, and it was then a lot of artists started getting murdered in the industry. You know, like I was like, this too dangerous for me. I don't. It's too dangerous. So I had already started trying to find other ways out. Like I don't want to be in the music industry anymore. Let me convert over to another side. I'm a branded beast marketing monster. So I was like, all this energy you done gave everybody, it's time for you to do yourself. Get out of the music industry. So I start branding my comedy character. I do comedy now. So I'm out of the music industry. He took my career away from me. From that moment, I started working on what are you gonna do next? Because you can't do this no more. My kids told me, Mama, no. So fast forward along, we're going up to November. I had already started working with my LA market and, notifying, my different markets that, we finna start shutting down accounts because I had started dropping the ball on all my accounts, girl. I couldn't concentrate. Whenever I walked into a club, the anxiety would go so bad. Like the minute I got back to Dallas, my doctor, I had to go straight to the doctor because I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat, girl. I was steady having these little mini nervous breakdowns. Like it was hard for me to go, like things that I was used to doing, like going to concerts, going to clubs, going to studios, doing interviews. All this stuff made me so nervous. It made me so nervous. Like it was,
I can imagine.
I couldn't even, get it together. So I started dropping the ball. I had never dropped the ball on projects before. I was the best. I was the best. And if they want it done right, they're going to call Sky. So I just started declining them. Like the doctor had put me on 4 different medications. And I'm taking sleep medicine. I'm taking anxiety just to be able to cope and function to get to the point where I can convert over to another side of entertainment, which is movies and comedy. So fast forward up to November. So it's the week, I can tell you exactly. It was the Monday before Thanksgiving when the feds called. Now, I wouldn't listen to anything that the tabloids or anything that was being said. I basically was left to suffer in silence. And I was basically left to say, you filed the police report, that's the end of it. I didn't hear anything else about it. I seen him, running around on yachts with 50 cents and seeing him, doing all this stuff with 50 and running around with DJ Academic. And I see myself going into a hole, so I wouldn't even watch it because it would piss me off anytime I would, see anything concerning this guy. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Now at this time, the only name that I know is Tekashi. I don't know any Shotties. I don't know any of these other people's names. Only thing I know is the Tekashi 6ix9ine. Okay, I don't know anything. So we go forward to that Monday before Thanksgiving, and I'm home. It's early in the morning. I had just got in town the Monday before. I had flew in from LA, and I had came in, and that Monday I get a call from New York, and I'm like, yeah, I answer the phone, and it was a federal agent, and he tell me, he tells me who he is and everything, and I'm like, yes, how can I help you? And he tells me that they had busted Tekashi's. You know what? I take that back. That Sunday, I found out that they raided his house on that Saturday. Okay. I didn't think nothing else about it. Okay, I was like, good for that son of a bitch. Whatever. So that Monday, the feds called, and they wanted me right then. They was like, ma'am, we understand what you've been through. You are a victim, and we need you to come to New York immediately. And then now, when somebody tell me to come to New York, I'm like, hell no. On no terms will I ever come back. I've had my taste of the Big Apple. I'm good, honey. And so I was like, no, sir, I'm not coming back to New York out of fear for my life. No, you can't get me to come to New York. And he said, well, we found your backpack. I'm like, was my hard drives in there? I need my hard drives. I had a hard drive. I had a camera. I had some red bottom shoes. Like, was my hard drive in there? And he was like, well, if you come back to New York, he's trying to tell me to come to New York. They're going to pay for travel. They'll pay for security. He's like, we'll pay for your whole family to come and go to Disney World if we want you to. And they called for 2 days. They sent emails to make sure that they were the right person. I said, look, it is Tuesday evening. They called me about 10 times. It is Tuesday evening, the day before, the 2 days before Thanksgiving. I'm finna go to my mama's house and help her cook, stuff some turkey and dressing. Call me back on Monday. Wait, let the holidays pass. Ain't nothing happen for the holidays. I'm not coming to New York between the holidays for nobody. I'm spending time with my parents. Good day. Call me Monday. So, Miss Tosh. Yes.
Take your time.
So, Miss Tasha. Be strong, Sky. Be strong. So, Miss Tasha, the day after Thanksgiving, before the fans could call me back on Monday, my husband was murdered. Somebody robbed and killed my husband the Friday after Thanksgiving.
Wow. Take your time. That just gave me chills. I mean, being that you almost lost your life to Tekashi, and then to hear that your husband
was murdered.
Yeah. And robbed.
Gun violence. Yes, he was murdered. He was robbed and murdered. He was robbed. He was robbed and murdered. And I was left, so at this point, after, we get the news my husband's murdered, I don't give a damn about no Tekashi. I don't care about nothing that didn't happen over there. I got to worry about the man that I've been with for 18 years. My children's father, my grandchildren's grandfather, they pawpaw, I got to worry about making funeral arrangements. So when the feds called back on Monday, they got lashed out. I was like, I don't care about none of that shit. Don't call my phone. I don't want to talk. Like, my husband just was murdered. Like, give me a grievance. So I cut my business phone off for about a month and a half. I wouldn't accept calls from anyone but close friends and family, that was concerning my husband. By the time I cut my phone back on in January, I cut my phone back on after the holidays in January. By the time we start back receiving calls, Tekashi had already started singing like a rat. He had started. So the feds, and they was like, we don't need you to talk anymore. We have all that we need. Thank you. And I've never heard anything else from them. And I've been left here for the last year. Like this, an emotional wreck. And everybody's all over the screen talking about it. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's talking about it. Nobody, no, only person who's giving me a chance to tell my story is you. And I thank you. I don't know what will come of it, but the truth needs to be told. It needs to be told. It's so much speculation. Nobody is telling the truth. And, it broke up so much in my life. Of course, I lost my new client. Of course, my assistant, he still hasn't talked to me because I ran out the door to get help. He felt like I left him. I still, and after my husband died, I really went into another darker place than I already was in. I tried to take my life. I tried to kill myself on Christmas. My kids came in and found me having a seizure, where I took a whole bunch of pain medication because I was in so much pain. I've questioned, God a lot, like I was saying, God, they took a lot from me. And I thank God now that they didn't take my life. But at that point, I felt like, y'all should have just took me. Y'all should have just took my life.
Now, you said in your pre-interview, I want to try to switch gears here because I don't want you getting too much more emotional than you already are. So, take a moment.
Okay, we ready.
Okay. All right. So you said, now, the day that robbery happened, it was uploaded. It was given to a YouTuber, DJ Academics. So he said he got it from a private account, but him and Tekashi are pretty much best friends. Now
that video he had that video of 10 minutes after the robbery happened. 10 minutes after the robbery happened.
And said he got it from a private account. But him and Tekashi are on 6ix9ine. So if Tekashi's outside recording, he gets the video 10 minutes later. I mean, he knew who it came from and what happened.
Right.
Pretty much. Okay. Do you think, I mean, and we kind of spoke briefly on this. I mean, because the video now is nowhere on DJ Academic's platform. Everyone else has it, but he doesn't have it anymore. So he took it down. I mean, because that's pretty much makes him an accessory. That makes him an accessory.
He reworded it twice. The first video that DJ Academic put out in the robbery came out 10 minutes after the robbery.
Okay.
Jay Prince Jr. gets robbed in New York coming out of 50 Cent's studio. That's the way it was titled in the first 10 minutes.
It was funny how he knew exactly what happened.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
then Jay Prince Jr. gets word that the video is out before he even knew that I had even gotten robbed. Before anybody, why? Because I don't forget, I'm still in the midst of traffic by the time this video get out. I'm still on my way trying to get to the airport, and this video's already out. Okay. So, I mean, by then, Jay Prince Jr. is already rebuttal back. And by the time I get to my seat in the airport, all this done went down. The video's out. Jay Prince Jr. has rebuttal to him and said, oh, you lying. I'm out of here. You ain't robbed me or my people. I'm out in Miami. And then a couple of other little rappers, I don't know their names, they went on and they lashed out at the Tekashi boy. Okay. And all this that went down, they all going back and forth on social media, and I'm sitting on a plane waiting for it to take off, still, you know, like traumatized, like what is going on? Like, I just, you know, didn't understand like what's going on.
Do you think it makes DJ Academics an accessory to the robbery? Because it's funny like how he has a lot of specifics on this case.
I think that he absolutely got the story wrong. I think he absolutely was in cahoots with tekashi 6ix9ine because he got the video too quick.
Okay.
I think that he totally slandered my character first and foremost. You know, I think that
When you say slandered your character, what do you mean?
Because he put a video out of me being robbed. You know, he put a video out, and just imagine the fear that my family felt, and I hadn't even made it home yet. You know, I just don't. I think he'll do anything for clout.
Do you think he's working with the feds with Tekashi? Because I mean, for him to have that video so quick.
I don't know. I'm gonna tell you again. This thing is so big. It's way bigger than I can actually imagine. Because again, I have lots of questions. Lots of questions. I don't know who is who and what is what anymore. I know I'm not a gang member. I know I was an innocent victim and an innocent bystander, me and my assistant in my audience. I done seen so many lies. I seen him get on the witness stand and tell all kind of lies. My backpack been on trial, Tasha, for 2 weeks, and I ain't even been there. I don't even know what I was in the backpack no more. I hope I didn't have no underwear in there. You know, like, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I have a lot of questions. I have questions on DJ Thorough. I have questions of they ran in screaming F rap a lot. I have questions of I was at This Is 50. Did 50 know? I want to know that. Did this security lady know? This is the first time I've ever been able to speak and get questions out. I don't know. I've been just sitting here suffering in silence trying to figure it all out on my own. But I said, let me call my sister Tasha K. She'll help me get to the bottom of it.
Girl, I don't know none of their asses. Look, I barely report on them. I mean, because everything I know Tekashi did, he did it pretty much for clout, for internet, like cool points and things like that. So, you know, I really didn't, you know, when he got locked up, I was kind of like, you know, I really didn't think he would, you know, did any of the shit anyway. I thought it was all like fake. But turns out, you know, some of the stuff was fake. He exaggerated a lot, but a lot of the stuff did go down. You know what I'm saying? And so how do you feel about Tekashi getting off from robbing you, your assistant, and your artist? Because he's going to walk. Now, Shotty and the rest of the crew members, you've gotten justice. But Tekashi, how do you feel about him getting off?
I really have no feelings. You know, this is at the point where I'm at with this whole situation. I'm ready for it to be totally behind me.
Okay.
Whatever happens to him, you know, I know that God will serve justice. Justice will be served.
Okay.
You know, it will be served, whether it's by law enforcement, whether it's by street code, whether it's by God.
You want to see something happen to him?
I want to see him get his life right with God. Because if you will go out and rob a woman or anybody who played a part in this situation, you know, gun violence needs to stop. Like all of the beefing, all of the fighting. I just want peace for everyone. That's all I wish. I wish for peace for everybody. I wish people would come to peace at their heart. If you hate somebody that much, where you'll go and pull guns on people, I just don't understand it. I want just gun violence. I just wish peace for everybody. I don't wish him no good. I don't wish him no bad. I just wish him to get his heart right with God. Whatever happened to him, long as he stay the hell away from me, he is okay. Like I'm just stay away from me. I never want to see, baby. Every time I close my eyes, I gotta see Tekashi and that colorful ass hair in my dreams. I still have nightmares about him. This little Chucky doll that is hunting me. This little Chucky doll is hunting me. I can't get rid of it. Every time I cut my phone on, every time I close my eyes, I am ready to put this behind me. I'm ready to go back to enjoying and go back to my life I once had before this troll came along. And I think all of them are vicious monsters. I mean, like, they took a lot from me. Not only did he take my book, my memoirs, my hard drives, my backpack, he took my sanity, he took my sleep, he took my peace, he took my career. And I'm trying to get my life back. I just want my life back. And then, you know, for him to take my career, then my husband turned around and be murdered 6 months after that, I am bankrupt. Ain't nobody offered me a dime. You asked me earlier, Sky, who do you have alliance with? No one, because no one has gave me a penny towards nothing. I have 2 children and 4 grandchildren. I want my coins out of them. They can have that music career because they've already taken it. They can have it.
Well, I think it's time for you to probably seek like some type of legal counsel, because I think you got a case here against Tekashi when he gets out. I'm sure he's gonna have several.
I feel like I got a case against all of them. I want 50 investigated because the shit happened at his building and his staff.
And 50 is close to Tekashi, so I mean it's not too far. It's not too far off to think that he probably could have, like, you know, set it up.
That was his boy. They was hanging around, proving facts. He was all swimming in the pool with him and everything, all out on the yachts, big kicking it. And it happened in 50's house. I want DJ Thorough investigated for conspiracy, as well as I want him investigated for association with aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon. He needs to be investigated. He needs to answer some questions to the police about, did he set me up? Why did you ever? I want to find out who set me up. And I think DJ Thorough. And I even have questions for the security. The security lady, after I went to the police, I said to the police the whole day when I went back to the police. The police, at first, they didn't believe me. It took me to talk to 2 or 3 different detectives for somebody to say, okay, this woman probably ain't lying. So they went around there to the building and talked to the superintendent and started pulling the files. By the time the police came back, they had me sitting in that interrogation room for 2 hours, giving me soda pop and chips. They came back with the footage. I couldn't even watch the footage. They was like, is this you right here on this day? I was like, yeah. They was like, well, we didn't talk to the security. We didn't want to talk to the super. They said the lady who was pushing us into the Sally Port, closing the door on us, they said she got fired because she didn't even file a police report. How you gonna be a security and 6 people come and see some people get robbed in your face at gunpoint and you not call the police or at least do an incident report?
Yeah, that is it's questionable. It's questionable.
I run outside in Manhattan and it ain't a police to be found, and you got 5 people jumping out of SUV with guns. It's a lot of questions that need to be answered, Tasha. But at the end of the day, I just want my money. I don't care what they do, what gang they're a part of, who ego it is. I want my things, my sanity, my sleep, my life back. I'm tired of it. I don't never want to see any. I just wish this situation I wish it would have never happened. I wish it would just go away. I'm done with it already. But I want the story to be known. I want it to be straight that Tekashi and the 6ix9ine gang members or whoever they are, these gangster bloods, Sky is not a part of none of that. Never have been and never will be. Only army I'm a part of is God's army. And my children, my clan at home who depend on me every day.
Thank you, Sky, for telling your story. Thank you for putting the truth out there. I mean, there's a lot of misconceptions going on with this case. I'm honored, seriously. I mean, and extremely humble.
Thank you to Delice Kelly, my publicist, for making this thing happen. You the best. Shout out to the Artist Plug. That's her business that she's building. She's beautiful. She's #1. And her beautiful sister has Stacks. They have been 2 of my biggest support systems. Hey, Mom, I'm on TV. Shout out to my parents who have been my bricks. Shout out to my children and my grandchildren who have, they've been traumatized. Our life has been shaken upside down. I'm not going to let him have it, Tasha. Now's the time. I am talking. The truth will be told. He doesn't need to walk free. He doesn't. But again, I'm going to say this thing bigger than me.
I mean, of course, I really think that this entire case is gonna be made into some sort of Netflix or Hulu series. I mean, this case is just,
And I need my coins off of it. If all these people are gonna benefit off of my blood, sweat, and tears, they need to pay up. They need to pay up. I haven't even so much as got an apology from anyone. No one sent an apology. Sorry, I'm mistaken identity.
well, sis, if I were you, I would get me an attorney. If I were you, I would get me an attorney, and I would make all they asses apologize with a check.
Some attorneys out there, I need some bulldogs, some that's not scared of 50 cents and the rest of them.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, I mean, going up against
The
yeah.
building security, all of them need to go down. So if I got a whale out there that's ready, and now I'm a comedian in Hollywood. Okay, and that's a whole nother story. So we writing the next book, Miss Tasha K.
Okay.
We writing the next book. So,
and I'll be looking forward to reading it. I want to thank you. I don't want the interview to go too long, but I mean, you told pretty much everything. So I appreciate you trusting me with your story. Delice, thank you so much for setting this up.
okay, yes.
All right. Thank you both so much, okay? I'm going to do my signature outing. Now I got to go. Love you too. Bye.
I didn't drink all my wine, but I almost did.
Girl, you should be tipsy now.
Thank you so much for letting me unwind, Tasha K. I needed that.
Anytime. No, thank you.
Keep unwinding with Tasha K, because she going to give it to you. Thank you, my love.